Welcome to Glutened, the podcast where we amplify the voices of those living with celiac disease and allergies or intolerances. Each episode offers a unique perspective and invaluable insight into life with celiac disease. I'm your host, Maisa, and together let's share stories, foster understanding, and build a supportive community for everyone. What is celiac disease? Celiac disease is a chronic autoimmune disorder triggered by the ingestion of gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. In individuals with celiac disease, the immune system reacts abnormally to gluten, causing damage to the lining of the small intestine. This damage impairs the absorption of nutrition, leading to various symptoms such as abdominal pain, diarrhea, fatigue, and weight loss. The only effective treatment for celiac disease is a strict lifelong gluten-free diet. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Maisa. I'll be your host on this podcast. And I've been diagnosed as celiac in October 2022. My life has changed since then. It was a big shock for me. I had lots of symptoms for years before then. I brushed them off because I just thought I moved countries and it's just a normal reaction. Maybe my body's reacting to being here and it's a new environment, and I was just trying to brush it off. I had some of my symptoms were brain fog, fatigue, joint pain, stomach issues, bowel movement issues, acne on the face, headache, and I mentioned already brain fog, which was major, and my joint pain as well. We lived in a 2-bedroom house, and I struggled to go up to the second floor. One of the major reasons that pushed me to contact the doctor was my mental health as well. My mental health was almost a disaster. I was suicidal. I wanted to commit suicide. I had suicidal thoughts most of the time. And then one day I just couldn't take it. I was terrified, and I phoned the doctor's surgery and I said, I need help. I can't be on my own. I need to see a doctor as soon as possible. And then eventually I got to see a doctor. He recommended some antidepressants, and I said I didn't want to take them because I've read a lot about how you can get addicted to them, and I didn't want to be in that position. And then he suggested that we should do some blood tests to see if I've got any deficiencies. And he called me one day and said, you know you're celiac, right? And then I was like, no, I didn't know. He said, well, you've got celiac disease. You have to carry on eating gluten until we do the endoscopy. So I was like, okay, great. At least we've got an answer. Then I hung up the phone and I've started reading about celiac disease. I know a little bit about it, but I didn't know enough, obviously. It was a big shock that I have to change my diet completely. I mean, my diet was fairly healthy, but I had a lot of bread because I'm Lebanese and we eat lots of, well, we eat bread, but for me, I love my pastries. I love my croissant, my pain au chocolat in the morning. That was major. Um, anyway, I had to change all of that, and here we are. 2 years almost, no, 16 months. And I'm feeling a lot better after cutting all the gluten and cutting processed food for me as well, because I have another issue, which is endometriosis. That's my story. I hope you enjoy the podcast. And one of the major reasons I wanted to do this podcast is because I've met a lot of people recently that tell me that they've just been diagnosed as celiac, or they are wheat intolerant, or they're just following a gluten-free diet because it makes them feel better and not as bloated or not as uncomfortable. I want to create a community where we all help each other, we're all here for each other, listen to each other, and know that you're not on your own. There's people like you and me everywhere, and as long as we are kind to each other and compassionate, everything will be all right. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, all of that jazz. And I hope you have a nice day. I'll see you in the next episode.